Hey guys, this is HCO Mario coming back at you with another game. And this time we are silver. We're actually gold. But at the moment, we just got promoted to silver in terms of this video, and we are against the Zerg player named Werkor, which I wonder what that stands for. Great King. So he's definitely royalty, which means this game should be a gem. That was a terrible joke. This game is on Dash and Terminal, and I like this map for specific reasons. I really like the ability to float up top. It leaves for some cute options. Although I haven't really done that, it does leave for some cute options. And we did spawn as a Terran player, so this is Terran against Zerg. And there's many things you can do on this map. You could go for a fast expansion, which I kind of like on this map. It's a little bit of a defensive advantage. I like to be a little bit of a defensive player. I strongly promote aggression in terms of harassment. Really trying to control your units well. I really like to be the aggressor, but play in a defensive stance. So like you pick at them, you pick at them, you pick at them. Like make their economy weaker while you stay back, stay back, stay back, and just squeeze them into trying to attack you. Just force them like, I can't keep taking this, I have to attack. And then they attack and they panic, they make a mistake, they pretty much walk into your army and they die. It's one of my favorite ways to play. And I do recommend it. If you're a beginning player, let the enemy player make mistakes. You focus on trying to learn your harassments and so forth. So with this strategy, this fast expansions type strategy, what we want to do is we definitely want to put a supply depot down. And the supply depot down, what that does is, well, one, you need it, but it also allows you to kind of decide where you want to position your command center at about 14 supply. My apologies. You don't actually make the 15th SCV until it's down. So you can see that I'm going to rally this over, and I'm going to put the command center next to the supply depot, but 1 pixel higher. And the reason why you put it 1 pixel higher from where you can place it is because the barracks is going to fit right under it. So you, at 14, that SCV that comes out will make the barracks, and then at 15, so arm the command center, you start the command center, and then you resume. So you do pause, but so you resume SCV production, and then on the 15th, slightly before, you take one SCV off your mineral line and you go ahead and make a barracks. Shortly after, you do want a gas. So at about 17 supply, you should definitely be considering a gas, kind of depending on what route you want to follow. You should also check down below. Some Zergs like to place a hatchery down, try to proxy you. A very simple response, just start another barracks. In this case, we're getting kind of a delayed gas, which means we probably want to go for an early third command center. But so you just you lay down another barracks, you pump out 2 marines at a time, you make 1 or 2 bunkers near the hatchery, and you'll be more than fine in that regard. You just want to place the bunkers down before the hatchery finishes, otherwise you're gonna be a little bit stuck in your base. And in that stage, probably floating something over to the island expansion on this map is a little bit better. And we're gonna go scout him out. We should have been scouting him out while the barracks was building, so we knew if he was doing some kind of cheese. And and then we wanna, since we kind of got to play the map a little bit, we wanna make a supply depot over there, so that no Zerglings can come up from behind. If anything comes down, we want it to be in front of us. We see that there's no expansion, so we know that there's probably some cheese. So we're like, oh, okay, there's a drone coming out now. We're just gonna move down, but this is definitely some cheesy stuff. So we kind of drop an engineering bay to just kind of prevent that and scout out a little bit. And we see that maybe, just maybe, he wanted to do some like triple hatchery type play, which would have been a little interesting. But okay. So we go ahead and take a look around, see if there's anything nearby. And you can see that since we started the delayed, very delayed refinery, probably about 20-second delay, that we are able to start in earlier third command center. But the trade-off is that our Hellions are much later. So in exchange for that, we also start building more marines, and we do want a bit of a wall off, and you can wall off on this map with a supply depot, a bunker, and an engineering bay if done properly. If you're confused on how to do it, just put the bunker next to the engineer, or next to the mineral line, and then the supply depot, or Yeah, then the supply depot, and then you can go ahead and do an engineering bay. You can kind of keep that on the outer walls, so you don't have to be too concerned about that. You know, in case he tries to like break in and rush something. But personally, I try to have the bunker pretty close to my mineral line so I can pull workers faster. So I guess in my case, I probably would have wanted to put the bunker in a different position, but it just looks so pretty this way. I didn't think too much about it. Once your third command center is very close to finishing, you can go up to 4 gas. In this case, we're going up to 3, and the reason for this being is because we wouldn't have been able to afford these Hellions otherwise. Now, what am I thinking about this game? I know that his expansion is delayed. There's probably some kind of tech, or there usually would be if this was a higher level player. We do get our 4th gas. We just get it slightly delayed so we can afford our Hellions. So we do want 4 gas. We do get 2 Hellions, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we can go into bio. We can go into siege tanks. In this case, you can see that I'm trying to get the +1 attack. So I'm trying to go into bio here. And one of the ways we do that is we want the ability to produce siege tanks for defense against roaches or banelings. And we also want a tech lab for stem. We also noticed that he didn't get Zergling speed, so we kind of wonder where his gas is in. You know, because we know he was mining gas. So that's definitely a concern. We did get a Viking. We need to start a Marine. We need to start stem. We do want to go up to at least 3 barracks. So we've gone ahead and done that. And then a reactor so that we can get medevacs. Medevac's kind of important, and you don't want to get supply blocks, so we're dropping 3 supply depots, and we haven't seen anything on the map yet, so we're gonna go ahead and move our command center down for an expansion. Now, our Hellion is able to see that there are roaches being built. He's got some spine crawlers. He's getting roach speed. So we do have to be a little bit concerned about roaches. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of extend our wall a little further down and put a missile turret. Now the missile turret, what that does is it detects roaches that are burrowed. And this helps us, and I do this even as a mech player, is put down that missile turret. And what this does is it allows us to see the burrowed roaches and make sure that we kind of defend appropriately, because if you get burrowed roaches in your main and all over, they can be so difficult to deal with. Also, once your 2 extra barracks finish, you do want to start 2 more. You kind of want to get up to 5 barracks as soon as you can. And I'm a big fan of Marines. Or a siege tank, sorry, instead of Widow Mine Marine against Zerg. I do like Widow Mine Marine, but I prefer the siege tank, and that could be the mech side of me talking. You can also see that, this upgrade is it's going to be kind of getting close. We should have probably started these armory and engineering bay earlier, because we're starting the +1 armor, so they're going to be done before +1 armor is more than halfway. So it's off timed. We are getting some missile turrets just in case there's a Mutalisks coming, and a sensor tower in case there's a drop. This is a pretty good map for drops as a Zerg player. It's pretty close to your main. We do have 1 siege tank by the rocks over there, just so that we can. And I guess there was an attack because these are weak. These supply depots. Maybe put another turret a little bit lower. But we want a siege tank by the rocks, just in case he tries to break it down. We can get some free shots off. We do want to get at least 1 marauder at a time, preferably 2, since he is making roaches. Marauders are pretty good against that. And we're gonna go ahead and close up our wall here, real nice and tight. A medevac. So we're in a pretty good defensive position. We do want to start these upgrades, so let's go ahead and start that. And the +1 attack, it's not 100% necessary, but it will help, because the type of strategy we're playing, it allows us to go into Thors or Hellbats a little bit easier. So it's definitely something that I kind of want to get, because +3 Hellbats with Blue Flame just wreck Zerglings, and the higher the upgrades on the Thors, the better they are against Mutalisks. Kind of used my army hotkey there, so we also got to fix that. I'm going to send 2 Marines down to the bottom watchtower, and the reason for that is maybe there's a Zergling there. We know there wasn't one up top. Set these siege tanks up on a defensive position. We gotta close this up and maybe get another command center, get another gas geyser, but we don't really need it quite yet, because we're getting a lot of Marines. Scan up ahead in case something's burrowed. We should have probably done it earlier. And there are Mutalisks. So we know that there are roaches, there are mutas. We're gonna get some more turrets just to kind of protect our stuff. feed your siege tanks, just in case roaches come up from behind to try to attack us. And keep making units, and instead of siege tanks, we're going to be making Thors now. And the Thors is because, you know, we did see Mutalisks. We have to be a little bit careful. We have a healthy siege tank count. We got some back home trying to defend. We're gonna send a drop out to the bottom left. You know, we're just using our reinforcements and having just one army. We're not rallying constantly. I feel like that if you're with siege tanks, you can't really rally constantly unless you feel like you can flat out win the game in that regard. And this game is about over now, so I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the rest, and we're gonna, you know, that's a little bit more explanation on what I was doing and why, and I'll see you guys in the next game. Thank you for watching.